Oh my God, there's so much going on. What are we going to do with all this overwhelm? Well, I'm here to tell you, sis, that you can combat overwhelm in little bitty steps throughout your day. Hey, y'all, I am Monica Wisdom. I am the founder of Black Women Amplified and the Black Women Amplified podcast. I'm also a life strategist, a consultant, and I'm your girl with the information. I'm so glad you're back with us today. Back with me today. And I'm excited to be here with you. I've been trying to keep my commitment of coming here every day to encourage you, bring you information, and get to know me a little bit better. So, I want to talk about overwhelm because today was a taxing day for me. And it has been it's been very challenging, but I think it's been challenging for a lot of people for many different reasons. We all have a lot going on in our life. There's a lot going on in the world, and there's a lot shifting in our country. So it can be easy to get overstimulated and to feel overwhelmed. But here's the thing, there's a way to just kind of slow it down so you can feel better about your day. And I want to talk about that. I want to give you 3 tips and how to really deal with overwhelm. I don't think it's something that, people are like, oh, just get rid of it. Think positive, do this and do that. That's just not true. Life happens and life is happening every moment of the day, but we have to choose how we deal with life. And some days it's going to be really, really dark, and some days you're going to feel okay, and some days you're going to feel great. But that's all a part of the process. So, what I want to do is give you 3 tips that will help you to, when you're in the midst of overwhelm, so that you can slow down and kind of handle the situation, because typically we're overstimulated first and then we become overwhelmed with everything. And typically it's because we're thinking of all the things at the same time, right? So when you're thinking of everything at the same time, it can be too much. Trust me, I know. I'm that girl. I think of all the things at the same time. I'm thinking about the tree, the leaves, the fruit, the trunk, the roots, all at the same time. When the truth of the matter is, I just need to focus on what is happening that's a priority right now. So you're overstimulated by social media, you're overstimulated by the news, you've got family obligations, work obligations, all the things happening. But if you simply just take a breath, take a beat, as the kids say, just take a beat and say, what is my priority right now? And pick three things that you can deal with right now in this moment. And when you pick those 3 things right now in this moment, everything else can kind of fade away for the moment and you just focus. So, what are your 3 top priorities? If you're at work, what are the 3 things that you need to handle by the end of the day? If you are in the morning and you have to get people ready for school or you have to get ready for work, what are the 3 things that you can focus on at that time? Because here's the thing, if you're not at work, you can't handle work anyway. If you're not at home, you can't handle home anyway. And if you do have to handle crisscross and handle them, you have to sit down and prioritize in that moment what to do. Because how many times are we on the phone? The television is on, people are talking to us, we're trying to send out a text message all at the same time. But you would also be just as productive if you just do one thing at a time. So, for this exercise, I want you to pick out 3 things that you could do, that you choose to do, that's a top priority right now. So, whatever else is going on, just pick 3. And then I want you to write them down. Write down with each one everything that you need to get done for each priority. And then tip number 2 is I want you to chunk out time to handle one thing at a time. So whether it's 20 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, pick one priority at a time and focus on it just for 1 hour. And you can use the Pomodoro method where you turn everything off and set your alarm. and you set your alarm in 20-minute increments, take a break, come back for the next 20 minutes, take a break, and come back for the next 20 minutes. What happens with that focused time is you actually get more done than when you're trying to do everything else. So then you go on to the second task, and then you go on to the third priority. And so that's tip number 2 is chunk out time and use the Pomodoro method. I just explained it, but you can also go through YouTube University and find it and you get more detail. But it's a way you want to do time blocking and then the Pomodoro method. And that way you don't have to worry about anything else. You won't be distracted by your phone. You won't be distracted by your notifications on social media. And you can just focus on that task. Go task 1, task 2, and task 3. So once you get done with that, you just do an hour at a time and then move on to the next one. And if you need to come back, do that. But I tell you, you're going to have more done than you can imagine if you time block it out. And then always, number 3, you know what I always say, learn to say yes and learn to say no. Use the power of no, because oftentimes our overwhelm includes stretching out and feeling obligated to other people of situations that actually have nothing to do with you. And I get helping people. Trust me, I know it very well. But you also have to know that you can take the time for yourself just to prioritize yourself. So if doing a task or doing a favor or doing something for somebody else is one of your priorities, make that one of the 3 tasks and then handle that situation and then move on to whatever else you have to do. I'm not saying exclude it. I'm just saying switch around how you do what you're doing. So this isn't about not doing anything or avoiding anything. This is actually about focused time to get things done. Because oftentimes, for instance, if you have to do an email, if you're doing an email, checking your notifications on social media, texting people, it takes you 3 times as long to get it done. Because honestly, you know you can't remember where you are when you get distracted from somebody else. So you have to take the time to go back and find the place where you were. And you have to get back on that time frame and you have to get back in that groove. So if you just focus it out, stay in that groove, I promise what took you 3 hours, well, I'm not going to promise, but I will just say what took you 3 hours will now take you an hour because you're focusing your time. It's a laser beam. And we know when things are lasered, it's more intense, it's more focused, and it's more on task. And so those are the 3 things. You want to pick out 3 priorities. You want to block off time and use the Pomodoro method. And then number 3, you want to understand the power of no. Because everything, I promise you, everything on that list is not your thing. So make sure when you pick the 3 things, they're a priority for you. And if helping somebody else out is a priority for you, then do that as well. So I just wanted to come and help you help yourself relieve some of this overwhelm that we're going through and truly understand that saying no to somebody else is simply saying yes to yourself. So be clear, be concise, and be confident. This is Monica Wisdom of Black Women Amplify, and I hope to talk to you soon. Have an amazing day. Look, I'm trying to look like I'm not looking at the button to turn it off, but I'm looking at the button to turn it off. Oh, by the way, like, subscribe, share with a friend, and let's grow this channel. I'm working to grow this channel up, and I need your support and I need your help. Thanks so much. Have an amazing day.